Now, where's Ed? Ed Egan, are you here? Okay. Who is it or what is it that would always have us look for our treasure on the outside?
Ego.
Yeah.
Y'all know about the ego, everybody, or do I need to explain about ego? Hadassah, Sir James, okay? And so what I want you to understand, at least from A Course in Miracles perspective, is that these are not random happenings. These are activities that were programmed into us by a false identity that we empower. Psychological terms, it's called the ego. More probably traditional, biblical, it'd be called the adversary, it'd be called Satan, it'd be called the devil. But whatever you call it, according to A Course in Miracles, it is a rebellious idea that we had, and we are extremely powerful. The only problem is we're powerful whether with wisdom or by mistake. And so we made this entity, and we're so powerful that the entity we made has made us believe that it made us. We're powerful. Who's seen the Frankenstein movie? Anybody remember Frankenstein? You're all too young, but I remember Frankenstein, where this dude, he like made this person, and boy, what a great thing it was. And so he made it, and the next thing he knew, he was afraid of it, of what he had made. And so if you look at a movie like Frankenstein and you look at its moral or its spiritual overtones, you'll see the same sort of thing that is happening to us. So my take on this movie is, how many of you think that your life will be changed by one more book, one more workshop, one more speaking engagement, one more Oprah show? Okay? Now, I'm not negating those things, but isn't there a point where you have to stop reading about it and start doing it? Because that's where the benefits are going to be, not just from the intellectual information and the intellectual belief and the intellectual knowledge, but they're like 18 inches from head to heart. And so what can you do to move it from head to heart so that you get the benefits of living a life where those are the principles that your life are lived by, and that you don't put them on a shelf? One of the things it says in the Course in Miracles, in the lessons, Jesus says that, listen, we're going to switch up how we do our lessons today and how we do our meditation periods that go with the lessons. He says, till now, you know, I've asked you to do meditation morning and evening. And we're going to switch that up now. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of this thought or this lesson title or meditate briefly once an hour for every waking hour. So if you're up, I don't know, 12 hours a day, then you're going to give it maybe 2 or 3 meetings on the hour every time. And then he'll switch it up again. He said, today, I want you to think of one lesson on the hour and another lesson on the half hour. And he says, the reason that I'm doing this is that you have a tendency to get yourself centered in the morning, and then you leave it and go about your daily business and forget about what you said was the truth. So what I'm trying to get you to do is to learn to take your peace with you. And meditation becomes broader than just an activity that you do in quiet, that you do in a room, and you draw the shades and you make sure everything's quiet. Pretty soon you can learn to be in a meditative state 24/7, and you're meditating with your eyes open. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You got that? You got that? Yes, ma'am.
I just wondered if anybody remembered the quote at the beginning of the movie. It went something like, "You practice faith until you experience it." I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember either. Start over, Doug. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Sherry, do I have some notes over there?
Okay.
that's not it. Okay, I guess I didn't bring it then. Anyhow, it's got my schedule in that. Forgive me, folks. That's all right, I'll be okay. Who is next? I'm getting distracted trying to find my notes there over here.
I think she remembered.
Yes, Celeste?
It was,
What did it say? What was it?
it was interesting for me that in the end,
Thank you.
there was split in the group where one part of the group said, you know, that they were not gonna be in contact with him. And so they felt apparently tricked
Yes.
and we bought in, and so how do I reconcile that for myself? Versus the other group, I'm assuming kind of felt like, yeah, you are who you said what you were, but I got so much out of it personally to make myself a better person that I've evolved to the point where that doesn't much matter either.
That's well said.
That you're not who you say that you are.
No.
When I think about Kumar, the movie is so interesting because we put a heightened, because it was related to him trying to perpetrate himself as a guru, we put a heightened judgment on him for doing that. But we don't do that with our banker when they mishandle our money. We don't do it with our doctor, you know. So we pick and choose who we have a higher judgment on. But in reality, at some point, we all trust in someone else that's a part of our life more than we trust in ourselves. Whether it's our doctor or our financial advisor or our
That's
boss.
great.
Very well said.
Thank
These
you.
different people, you know, so we do have to go back and reassess, at least the movie makes me think, I gotta go back and reassess, who do I give more trust to than others
Right.
in my life?
Why do we do that? Why do we, is that because we don't want to take responsibility for ourselves?
I think it's because we really have not become aware of actually, in essence, where we got our information from and how well it affected us. If it affected us, like, as you were saying, when the guru said he was who he was, and some of the people walked out, they had to become aware of what the information was about. The information was about know yourself.
You know,
I don't care what you are.
by the way, I'm sorry, Ed?
I just think that because we're separated, we feel that someone else can help us find the answer rather than finding it ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Because we don't trust ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Have-
we just don't know.
Have you ever heard the expression, you already know the answer to every question that you've ever had? You already know the solution to every problem that you've ever experienced? Why is that? Why would people say that? What is the logic behind a statement like that? You ever thought about it? Yes, Amy?
The Course says that the answer is always in the same place where the problem is,
Jesus does say that. And why must that be so?
because it's within us. If the problem is in us, the answer is in us.
Aren't you the lady from the retreat that says we don't know shit?
But the Course does.
So let me take you to some basics. The one, Raymond?
Yeah, I just want to say, you know, in the beginning,
Yeah, speak up a little bit since we can't get the mic back there.
I was saying, in the beginning, when omnipotent substance has always been there in your mind.
Why must that be so, Raymond?
Again, because in the very beginning, in
Yeah.
your being,
Sure.
it was already there, put there for you.
What are some things that all spirituality have in common when they define God? I call them the omni words.
The one, they're all one.
All knowing, all present,
Did you say all-knowing?
all knowing.
And are you saying that God is all-knowing? Everybody there?
Yes.
Then what would God's kids be?
The same.
That's why you would know the answer to every question. If you learn to return to a knowledge base and get out of the illusion of perception. Perception is the realm, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And again, as far as the movie is mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got a few minutes. What else do you think about the movie? Because you know me, I get to talking and we will totally misuse what this period is for. Amy?
When I look at the movie, what Kumare was doing is he was providing a vehicle of love and a person to focus around.
Yes.
He's doing the same thing that the Course in Miracles is doing, okay, which is providing an idea to focus around,
To reflect?
to reflect, to mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and to encourage us to find that loving part in us and express it.
Is that what he started out to do?
Well,
No. Yeah,
He
that's,
didn't
that's what I
know.
wanted to say, yeah. He started out with the premise of he was going to expose falsehood.
He kind of had an axe to grind. That's how it started. So did he learn a lesson himself?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was kind of very sobering for him, the way that whole thing evolved. That is so Course in Miracles. Because Jesus says, you always learn what you teach. And so Kumare got maybe as big or greater lessons as his audience did. So, again, I thought that, I don't know, I didn't know if you guys would fall asleep on it, or I didn't know what you think, but I liked it. I thought it had a good message, and the ending, it got exciting. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Course in Miracles student for about 5 years, and I was watching the movie in the beginning. It was kind of aggravating me. I was kind of mad, and the ego was hitting me, and I said, why am I so aggravated? And as the movie progressed, the ego started letting go. And I thought, all those people have the power within them to begin with. And that's why I was so angry. And it's amazing because as the movie progressed,
Right.
it showed that he was learning as much as his students.
Exactly. So, go ahead. Oh, don't stop coming to the cinema parties and stuff. Come to study group, okay? But one of the things that I've learned as more and more I've gotten into, metaphysical teaching and things like that, is that I think that good teachers don't teach. Good teachers motivate. Good teachers give you reasons and motivation for you to do the learning. So all we can do is help you to be motivated to understand that everything you're looking for, you already got. So as it says in the Course in Miracles on the first page, the introduction to the text, okay, God, that's terrible. This course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love. What's another word you could use for love? Yeah, God is love, so love is God. This course does not aim at teaching you the meaning of God, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at helping you to remove the blocks to your awareness of God's presence, to your awareness of love's presence, and then love will be there of itself because it's not transient, it's eternal. Now, one thing I want to leave you with as we start to transition to closing, in A Course in Miracles in Lesson 67, it says, love created me like itself. God created me like, himself. Love created me like itself. So, what must you be? What else? And what else? What else can you be? Who is it that would teach you that you're something else sometimes?
Ego.
This is great, right? So here's the deal. If we want to walk in peace with a quiet mind and the happiness and joy that comes from peace, you must be your authentic self all the time. Every time that I don't act in the way that I was created, I produce guilt because I'm being a fake. Does that make sense? How we doing? And you may not know what's wrong because it's happening on such a deep level. But all of our guilt, all of our anxiety comes from being false instead of true. And so if love created me like itself, this is where I'm at right now. I didn't say I'm doing it, but I'm working on it. My goal is to love everyone and everything all the time. And you say, well, how can you do that? That sounds impossible. If you only knew who was available to you to help when you make that sort of commitment. And so I keep trying to diminish myself to take on the strength of the Holy Spirit in my life and to let those things start to come forth by removing all the false blocks. What you think, Pat? You look like you're thinking and stuff. I hope you enjoyed the film today. Are there other comments before we start trying to get you all out of here? It's Celeste, right? Am I saying it right?
And I'm a
Yes,
school
ma'am.
teacher, I teach third and fourth grade students. So I have to say when they do something wrong, and then I'll ask them, and they'll say no, and I always tell them, when I ask you a question, I already know the answer. I'm just giving you an opportunity to tell the truth.
Okay.
And so, we have to start applying that to ourselves and our spiritual
That's
walk as
awesome.
adults.
I
When the
got it.
question is asked, you already know the answer. The question
Yes,
is, do you
ma'am.
want to tell yourself the truth?
That's great.